Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Kumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Kumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Rama. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Ram Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, 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 Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, 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 Rama Ram Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama Ram, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama Ram, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama Rama Ram, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram 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 Rama Ram Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram 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 Rama Ram Rama 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 Ram Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, 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 Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama Rama. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, 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 Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Bhagavan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Arpanamastu. We have offered our grateful pranams for this wonderful opportunity to be able to come here in the first place to the ashram. That can happen only when you recognize the spiritual power of the ashram. And this is grace. Unless there is grace, you won't be able to recognize a spiritual center for what it is. And then again, coming and participating in the Nama Sankirtan like this, which is a powerhouse. Again, we need grace. Otherwise, we would just come inside for 5 minutes and go around and be very happy about it. And we'll leave. So for every little thing towards God, we need grace. And this grace is abundant from Bhagavan, that we have to be grateful to Him always for every blessing that we get. So, in celebration of this grace, we have offered the Nama Sankirtan as Nama lotuses at His lotus feet. And let's continue to offer our every action also as an instrument in His hand and as Seva lotus at His lotus feet. Now, Bhagavan was an avadhut. He was very unpredictable. No one would know what he would say next, what he would do next. And yet, he would say that every look of his, every word that he uttered, every step that he took, every gesture he made was in tune with the whole cosmos. These great ones have become one with the entire creation. There is a beautiful story in Mahabharata. There was a great Muni. He was Sukha Brahma. He had a nose like a parrot's, so he was called Sukha, the Sanskrit for parrot. And he had reached a very high state, the state of pure awareness, where he had become one with the entire creation. There was absolutely no difference between the created objects to him. So, the gopis, the devout ladies of the Brindavan, they were overwhelmed by Krishna all the time that even if they went in the streets to sell curds, they would forget the curds and why they were going and where they were going. And instead of shouting curds, curds, curds for sale, they would say Krishna for sale, Krishna, Krishna for sale. Such was their state, the glorious state. So they had all gathered on the bank of the river Jamuna, and there was a spade in the Jamuna. So they did not know how to cross it. And then they saw Vyasa Muni coming towards the river. So they felt very happy. Here is a great, great soul who is equal to God in his power. So one look from him, the river Jamuna will come under control and they could easily cross. And so when Vyasa approached, they said, Swami, we want to cross. Please help us. Vyasa said, after visiting a house and eating a sumptuous meal there, he was returning to cross the river Jamuna to the other side. And that's when these gopis approached him for help. He said, oh, you want this one to control the river? He just stood there and he touched his stomach and said, if it is true that I have not eaten anything at all, only the divine in me has taken it, O Yamuna, give way to these gopis. And Yamuna did. It separated into two parts, leaving pathway in the middle. Such was the glory, because these great ones never identified themselves as the doer of actions. Whatever they did, it happened automatically because they were established in the pure awareness. The work that was being done was being done by the divine will. Now this Vyasa's son is the Sukha Muni. The Sukha Muni, right from his childhood, was in a very high state, and then he attained that supreme state of pure awareness. Now, this was even considered as above Vyasa's state, caliber. Now one day these gopis were all bathing in the river Jamuna. When Vyasa came that side, these gopis spotted him and then they talked among themselves, oh, this Vyasa Muni is coming. So let's get out of this place and hide ourselves, because they were in the bathing dress. And they immediately came out and hid themselves. Now Vyasa, of course, knew that the gopis were shy before him. So he understood. And then he crossed. Then this Sukha Muni came. He was a youth of probably 20 years or something. He was coming towards Jamuna. And by then, the gopis had they had entered the water again. They continued their bathing. Now when they saw the Sukha Muni coming, they did not feel shy at all. They continued bathing, completely unmindful of his presence. Now Vyasa watched this. And then later, when he met the gopis, he asked, why is that? When my son, he's in the prime of his youth, and he was coming towards Jamuna when you were all bathing, and you didn't bother with him. Whereas I'm an old man, and I have attained a certain state, and you were shy? How could you do this? The gopis answered, He might look like a youth with a shining, handsome body, but he has no sense of gender. He has no body consciousness. Because he has no body consciousness, we also forgot our bodies. We continue to bathe unmindful of his presence. Whereas when you came, you were aware that you are an old man, that you are a man and you are an old man, and that we were all bathing. So this awareness, this consciousness of these thoughts was present in you. So immediately we felt shy, we reacted. And that's when Shri Vyasa realized the greatness of his own son, in what state he was. Now this clearly shows that the great ones who have reached the highest state, the state of Supreme Brahman, they have dissolved their ego completely in the ocean of the Supreme Divinity. They have absolutely no body consciousness, and so people with body consciousness also would not react before them. It reflects upon the whole world. This happens not only in the level of great Mahatmas. The great Mahatmas themselves have said that the world looks the way you see it. It is in the eyes of the beholder. If you have a wicked mind, then the whole world would look wicked. If you are a virtuous person, then you would only see goodness everywhere. I have seen personally, when I have served Bhagavan in Sudama, no matter how bad a person was, how much he criticized Shri Yogi Ji, how badly he talked about him, yet when he came inside, Bhagavan would give him a special treatment. He would treat him with great respect and love. And then I would ask him, Bhagavan, this man spoke so badly about you. How could you be like this? And where I had seen a very devotees come, Bhagavan might look even indifferent to them. He would not bother much about them. But it is these people who drew such attention from him. So I asked him why. He said, a mother has children. She has great love and equal love for all children. But if one of them should fall sick, then her attention would be mostly on that person, on that child of hers. She would take special care of him, and she would feed him with the right food so that he would get well soon. A Mahatma is like a mother. It is people with wicked thoughts, people who are evil-minded. They need God's, my Father's blessings more. A devotee can take care of himself. His very devotion would be a protection. Whereas these people have nothing at all to protect them. So they need special attention from us. So, what do we understand? These great ones cannot find fault with anybody, no matter how bad they are. I remember reading somewhere when someone wrote a very bad book on Ramana Bhagavan, and it was being circulated. They came and reported to Ramana Bhagavan, Swami, such and such a person was with you for so many years. Now he has turned against you and he is doing this kind of dirty job. Ramana Bhagavan smiled and said, oh, he should have come to me. I would have given him more points. I would have added more points to his book. Just imagine the kind of reply. I think just a few days back, 2 or 3 days back, I was telling people how someone had written very badly about Yogi Ramsuratkumar in a magazine, and that was brought to his attention, and I was the one who was made to read it out to him, and even as I read out, I was boiling. I felt terrible, and I reacted violently, but Bhagavan just sat there, listened to everything, and then he said, Devaki, give me that magazine. And there were 3 pages of all that rubbish, but so lovingly he took it in hand and he stroked every page saying, my father blesses you. And then at the 2nd page again he said, my father blesses you. And the 3rd page again, my father blesses you. What a blessing for such a person. But this is the nature of the great ones. I remember another incident when there was a very, very senior devotee belonging to another ashram. And one day, Bhagavan was there in Sannadi Street house. He was having breakfast. He had hardly started eating, and suddenly he just put down the plate and in a jump stood up. And he said, it was about 8 o'clock in the morning. He said, Devaki, there is a call. Father wants this beggar to go to that ashram. And then he started to move fast, so I had to run after him to catch up with him. At that time, there was no vehicle at all. We had to walk from Sudama. So we walked a few steps, and then an auto was coming. Immediately he said, let's board this auto. And then we went by auto to that ashram. And then Bhagavan walked very fast to the place where the senior devotee was living. This devotee disliked Yogi Ramsuratkumar so much that he would also speak very badly about him. And he was seated there in a chair. Now Bhagavan walked very fast and very seriously. So some of the devotees joined, and then we were all behind him. And as soon as Yogi Ramsuratkumar entered the hut, he did not give time for the person to see his face. He just held on to his feet with his head down so that the devotee would not see his face. He thought some other devotee has entered and they were seeking his blessings. So he kept quiet for a second or two, and then he asked, who is it? Who is it? And then somebody said, it's Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Immediately, full of hatred, he said, go away, don't touch my feet. Get out. And then in one jump, Shri Yogiji got up and came out. I saw his face because it was a downright insult unto a Mahatma at that. But he was smiling. Then one of the devotees and myself asked, Swami, why would you do this? They are humiliating. This man is humiliating you. He hates you so much. And why would you go and touch his feet? Then Bhagavan said, Devaki, my father said that he needed help. He was asking for help. My father commanded me to go there and help him. This beggar could help him only if he could touch him. This beggar knows how much that man hates. So all that I could do to touch him was to hold on to his feet. So I held his feet so that he wouldn't see who I was. And then I finished my father's work. Now we can go. Father's work is over. Nothing else matters. He had only love for this man, and he spoke with such love that he understood the hatred this old man had for Shiyogiji, and it did not matter to him at all. What mattered was that he should be helped. This is the caliber of a great Mahatma. So, from all this, we have to understand that these great ones, they have become one with the entire creation. And coming back to Sukha Muni, there was another incident which is very fascinating. He was running away from his father, and his father Vyasa kept calling, Sukha, Sukha, stop, stop, I want to see you, I want to talk to you, stop. But this Sukha, this 20-year-old youth, was running and running and running fast. So Vyasa began to call him loudly, Sukha, hey Sukha. And then there, every tree around, every bird around, every living being around, they all responded. Sukha was running away, but he had become one with the entire creation, all those objects around. The vegetation, the earth, the air, the birds, the animals, they all responded. They were all making noise in reply to Vyasa. And that's when the father realized the greatness of his son. When his name was being called, the entire creation responded. This I had seen with Bhagwan also. Even now, when you think that Bhagwan is in something, say a leaf, or a squirrel, or a bird, or even the air, you could see how they respond to you. It is not they, but it is the presence of Bhagwan in them. So, let us conclude that it is the presence of God in the entire creation that should matter to us and not the creation itself. When you look at the creation, remember the Creator behind it, the Almighty Creator behind it. The whole creation is there only to remind you of the Almighty divinity. So let us try to see only God in everything and in everyone, and not find fault with anybody. That let us remember, even if the most wicked person should come to them, they could see only goodness in them. Whereas even if a Mahatma, a flawless, great Mahatma should come to us, we jump to conclusions and are ready to find fault with them. We can see only the fault in people, whereas these great ones can see only God in us. And that makes all the difference. We shall now offer our today's prayer. Bhagwan, we beg you again and again, a million times, for your immediate divine intervention, so that the attitude of the world changes to one of peace and unity. There is so much violence all around. which is frightening and sickening. We beg you, Bhagavan, to bring in peace, harmony, discipline and control and unity into the lives of people so that people will live a dharmic life with remembrance of God. We also beg you to stop those violent wars that have been going on for long enough now with their disastrous effects. Please bring in peace and harmony. Please bless the whole world, every country of the world, so that there will be no thought of enmity in the minds of people. There will be no thought of war at all. We also beg you to protect, to keep under control those sudden attacks of those vicious diseases and violent furies of nature and those devastating accidents. And again, we beg you to uproot all the negativities of the human mind which are responsible for today's world of violence. Please bring in lofty thoughts in the minds of people. Whichever country people belong to, whatever religion they have embraced, everyone has to go through this law of karma, which is unsparing and precise and ruthless. It acts upon everybody with a karmic account. It works, it's very precise, and if we had done any bad karmas in the past and we won't even remember, it could be in the previous births, then it comes to us as a punishment, or that's how we look upon it. But it is unsparing, but there is always the causeless grace even above this. So let's appeal to the compassion and generosity of Bhagavan and pray to him to reach out to all those people who have been caught in some suffering or the other, and that without any help or protection, to come out of it and feel the relief. We also pray to you, Bhagavan, to protect all those unselfish people who have been working hard for the welfare of others from unnecessary, unworthy criticisms and aspersion. We beg you to promote the economy of the country and the growth in varied fields of activity so that India would reach that high status of world teacher to conduct the whole world in the path of dharma. We also pray to you with all intensity and earnestness for ceaseless and joyful chanting of your name, knowing no single name goes waste. Every name does its transforming work. And also, Bhagavan, please bless us for unbroken remembrance of your leelas and teachings so that we assimilate it and make it into our Atma Shakti. Please bless us all to be only sattvic instruments in your hands and not rakshasic. Please bless our everyday life so that we run it as an offering to you and not be caught by the temptations of Maya. We also seek that ultimate state of being, the state of bliss and peace, the state of pure awareness of yours. But then our minds are clouded by worldliness, so much so that we get attacked often by a certain vicious fear, or if not fear, a certain vicious anger, pouring out words of fire and abuse. And there is jealousy and vengeance, passion and sorrow or worry over everything. Now all this afflict our mind, landing us finally in depression. We often compare ourselves with other people and spot something that we lack in despite all the blessings we have already received. And then we think about it and blow it out of all proportion, only to land in depression and medicine. Bhagavan has said, the name of the divine is a great weapon which can destroy all our past karmas and prevent us from further sins. It can also remove the latent tendencies of the mind which have resulted from the experiences of karmas in the past births. We seek your blessings, Bhagavan, for our early purification, and wherever we live in this world, whatever work falls into our hand, we should be able to do it as service to you, and that joyfully, without any unhealthy competition or jealousy, so that every action of ours would turn into Atma Shakti. Please bless us to practice acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or sorrow. It is based upon our karmic account, yet it comes by your sankalpa, your will. And therefore, whatever comes from you can only be a blessing meant for our spiritual transformation. So let us all look upon every adversity as a definite blessing from God. Every curse carries a blessing also from God, meant for our spiritual growth. When we stubbornly look upon the punishments of life as definite blessings from God, you will be inviting blessings, and every adversity will turn into a blessing, and finally end in higher wisdom and purification of mind. We pray to you, Bhagavan, to bless us all with gratitude despite the difficulties of life. We seek your powerful blessings for all the species of the cosmos to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we seek liberation from the vicious cycle of births and deaths, the root cause of which is utter selfishness, the ahambhavam, or identification with the body. Please approve this ahambhavam and promote Atma Bhavam so that we all be blessed with that immortal life, that eternal living in merger with you, or eternal servitude in surrender to you, that eternal supreme divinity. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.